What's up, Jacob? What's up, Kai? How we doing? Somebody do me a favor. Just let me know if you can hear me. This is my first time I've ever gone live from my phone. Just prepping for a haircut right now. Right now I'm changing my razor blade out. Straight razor. All right, sounds good. All right, thank you. This is one of the trickier things about cutting your own hair, for me at least it was, learning how to use a cutthroat. What I'm going to be using today is wall magic clips and Babyliss Gold FX trimmers. The Gold FX trimmers are for the detail work. This helps me get sharp lines. I'll also bring down the bald part of my fade as short as possible. The magic clips are what I will use for all my debulking and fading. I think at the top of the fade, I'm going to end up using a 1.5. It's a little short. It's 3/16 of an inch. I like to go shorter because, as you can see here, I'm not very full on top, even with my locks. But my sides puff out. And so I go a little shorter just to give me more time between haircuts with the sides getting puffy. I think it's been like a month and a half since the last time I cut my hair. I wish I could do it more frequently, but honestly, I'm lazy. And then before I cut my hair, I always use a disinfectant and lubricant on my clippers. The disinfectant is to keep you from getting any rashes or anything like that. And then obviously the lubricant is to keep the clippers working properly. So I don't know how much I'm going to be talking. I'm just going to hang out. I'll try to read chat when I can. The Gold FXs are amazing, Jacob. And they come with, if you know what zero gapping is, it's adjusting the blade to make them cut shorter. You can use these fresh out of the box. You'll never have an issue with them. But they have tools, and these are made for barbers to easily be able to adjust them. So you can zero gap them yourself if you like, and they're really convenient, great for barbers. I also like my magic clips. The only thing I haven't been happy with is that this little piece, for whatever reason, pops off mid haircut. And I guess I could like super glue it or something, but it's kind of a pain, and I don't want to super glue anything on these clippers, so they just pops off from time to time due to the clippers vibrating. I'm going to keep charging my Gold FXs for now. All right, let's start it. So I'm going to start at the top of the fade first just to debulk. If I was doing someone else's hair, I would probably use a comb to separate the long hair from the short hair, like that. But because I don't mind touching my own head, and it takes away a tool I have to use, I think I'm just going to use my hand. So here we go. I'm starting at the very top of the fade. Let me see, am I at a good angle? Yeah. All right. Starting at the very top of the fade, I'm going to separate the long hair from the short hair. And I'm just going to work these clippers in a downward motion. And I'm going to come at it from a different angle. I'm being really careful not to take away any of the longer hairs, even if they're not locked up with my dreadlocks. Because if I cut them, then I can't twist them into the locks. If you cut it, I can't grow it back. Not without it poking out and looking funky. So I just rotate around my head, separating the long hair from the short hair. And then you guys can check out my mole. I'm going to stop right about here because I'm not going to do the beard quite yet. I don't know how the lighting is, but I took away quite a bit of hair. Took off quite a bit of hair because my hair was long. It's going to look short, but that's all right. I want it to be short. Right now I'm just debulking. Sorry I don't have better lighting. Did Twisty say something? What am I missing? Hey, SL1K, swirly wifey sister Nezzy, how you doing? Sorry, I don't. When does the live manscaping start? Those are paid streams. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to watch those. Just gonna do the same thing I did to the other side on my left side. In regards to self-cuts, a lot of it is trial and error. I've been cutting my own hair since I was 14 years old, so I've got my own system down. It's not like there's techniques that are pretty universal, but I've found that when you do your own hair, sometimes you gotta kind of throw some of that stuff out the window and figure it out on your own, because having to have a mirror in one hand and whatever you're using well, for certain parts of the haircut, like just you have less available at your disposal when you're doing it yourself. Like, damn it, I need another hair tie to get these locks under control. I'll be right back. There are techniques that are pretty universal, but anyway, with self cuts, you kind of got to just figure it out because sometimes the techniques aren't as practical as you'd like them to be. And then also, my lighting is terrible. It really makes a difference to have good lighting. Just trying to get this hair out of the way. Big Gaming King, what up? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So you've said, Twisty, so you've said. I think he has braids though, right? I don't think he has locks. I could be wrong. Are you at work right now, Jacob? How's your hand, Twisty? Hey, thanks. What do you want to go by? King Thurbin? Thurbin for short? King for short? What do you prefer being called? Big Gaming? Just let me know. I'll try to accommodate in any way I can. I like to call people whatever they want to be called. Your name's a little longer than Minnie. So usually what barbers will do is they'll do the haircut first, and then once the haircut's finished, then they'll go to the beard. I don't work in order like that when I do myself. I find it easier just to use the tools that I already have out. So since I'm already using the tools, I'm gonna start on my beard. So I like the length at my chin right now. I just want to debulk a little bit of this. Where's my comb? So on the sides, my hair is probably just under an inch right now. And I'm going to keep most of the length by working downward with the grain. But I want to take away some of this mustache length, and I want to take away some of this length on the cheeks. So what I'm going to do first is hit the mustache. I got my number 3, or shit, I accidentally grabbed the number 2. It's all right. It's a good length. I was wondering if I was going to go down to a number 2 anyway. Good thing I start on my mustache, because I usually take the mustache shorter. Let's try to hit it in a bunch of different angles. Now I'm going to use the number 3, which is what I meant to use anyway. Alright, let me see here. Alright, so number 3. Just going to work with the grain. I don't want to take off too much length. I'm going with the shape of my beard. I'm pulling away from my face as I get near my cheek or near my jawline. That way I don't take down too much length. Just going to pull with the shape of my face, but away in kind of a flicking motion to take some of this length away. Sorry if I can't read chat very much, but obviously I'm a little preoccupied. So if you're in here, just know that I appreciate you stopping by. Now I'm going to use my number 2 attachment again. And I'm going to do the same procedure, but when I flick, I'm going to, like I was flicking at my jawline. I was flicking at my jawline, but now I'm going to flick away further up. Right around here is where I'm going to flick away because I'm going shorter now. I'm going to start with a 2 closed with the grain. Then I'm going to open up the number 2. Open the notch, the latch, fully open. So there's a wider gap between the blades. So I'm going to open it up, put the number 2 on. Now I'm going to go against the grain, but I'm going to start up higher. Even though it's against the grain, or even though technically this is a longer setting than I just used, I'm going against the grain now, so it's going to cut a lot shorter than the 2 closed with the grain. So I'm going against the grain now, so it's going to take more length off than the 2 closed did with the grain. My goal in me shaping my beard is I have a round face, right? I'm a little chubby in my older age. My face isn't as angular as I'd like it to be. So I'm trying to create the illusion of an elongated face with my beard. I just closed the clipper guard again, or the clippers again. Just cleaning up any longer hairs and detailing around the lip a little bit. Too closed against the grain. Just working it up, making sure I don't miss any hairs. I go over it excessively because I hate it. If I finish a haircut, get out of the shower, and then I see that the clippers missed a couple hairs, and I gotta freaking turn the clippers on and have those little pieces of hair on me from cutting them off again. Even when I go to an actual barber, if I go to a shop and have someone else cut my hair, I'll usually go home, take a shower, and then pretty much without fail, no matter how good the barber is, they'll have missed, like, the clippers just miss hairs from time to time. So I'll go, I'll go home, take a shower, see what hairs the clippers missed, and then I'll go touch it up myself. All right, so for now, I'm going to leave the beard alone. I like the way it's coming together so far. I'm going to save the rest for when I do the fade. So I'm going back to my number 1.5, and I'm just going to quickly finish what I started. Careful not it. I'm being really careful not to dig into my locks and cut any of my locks off, because that would be a really awkward look to just have a lock or part of a lock dangling that's been cut at the base. That's what I'm trying to avoid when I'm doing this part here. Hey, Serenity, what up? Giving myself a haircut, doing something different. All right, now I'm going to start with my guidelines. Do I want to do guidelines because it's a tutorial? I'm asking myself. Yeah, definitely don't cut the lock. Yeah, definitely don't cut the lock. So there's two ways I can do this. One is I can take my clipper and I can create a guideline. balled it out, right? And I would just create a line all the way around my head at where I want this fade to start from the bottom. But because this is short and I'm really familiar with it, with my own head and everything, I think I'm going to down fade instead, which down fading means you start at the top at the longest portion of the fade and you work your way down instead of working your way up. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. So I started at a 1.5, which is 3/16 of an inch. I'm going to go to a number 1, which is a 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to open it up, open up the lever on my clipper, so it's the longest it can get with that attachment on it. And I'm going to go in an upwards motion, flicking away. I'm going to go just under where I have that original 1.5. This is part of those, what I was talking about with doing your own hair and changing it up from what you might do when you're cutting somebody else's hair. Usually if I was cutting somebody else's hair, I probably wouldn't down fade, but I'm really comfortable doing this. I might even, I'll show you something, Serenity. After I'm done with my haircut, I might use this bad boy right here, crochet hook, some locking gel, and just give a really brief tutorial, because my locks are looking a little rough, on how to touch up your own locks, but we'll see. All right, back to the number 1.5, or excuse me, number 1 open. Just working all the way around my head. Like I said, I'm going just under where I took that original. There's one hair flying around that doesn't want to get cut, and it's pissing me off. There it is. Gotcha, bitch. Now I'm going to close the number 1. I'm going to go number 1 closed now. Just under where I just came from. I'm going to bald all this out on the lower part of my head. I'm going to bald this all out. So I'm just focusing on the area that I'm fading right now. I'm just going right under, flicking away, right under where I had my last when the guard was open. Some parts, if you have like a divot in your head, you got to use the corner of your clipper to get into the divots. This is a half guard. Some people call it a 0. And I'm repeating the process I just did, but I just keep working down lower. I like my fade to be really elongated. What do they call it? They call it a compressed fade, where the area that where the fade starts and goes to long is really short. I like my fade to be extended. So I'm at a 0 guard or a half, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going just under where I just was. I'm going with the shape of my head, using corners. And if there's imperfections or anything like that, I'll get to that once I've finished. That's called detailing. Now I am going to, we still got my gaming commands up. What's Twisty saying? Oh, yeah, see? I like it when you guys spoil Serenity. That was a 0 guard or half guard open. Now I'm closing it. Going even lower. I got a pimple right there. It's not a cut or anything. I don't know if it shows up on screen, but I haven't cut myself. At least not today. Are you guys pimple poppers? I see a pimple. I gotta pop that bastard. Personally. It's kind of gross though. That's what Twisty's been saying, Ben. Twisty's been telling me that for months. All right. Now I noticed a couple areas I need to give a little bit more TLC to. So I'm flicking away and using the corner of my blade. And we're done with the attachments. Now I'm going to, again, I'm working down instead of up with this fade. So now I'm going to just the blade, lever open. Lever open. Open. Going just under where I just finished off with. Careful not to cut my ear. These clippers are sharp enough to cut my ear. They'll actually take a chunk out of my ear if I'm not careful. I got a fade brush that'll clear away hair underneath and expose any sections I missed or sections I left patchy, which I do see some areas that need some more attention, but we got plenty of time for that. I also can't see the back of my head doing it this way, so for the back, I'll detail and I'll use a handheld mirror, which a handheld mirror. Oh, I dropped my phone. Oh. You guys got to see the inside of my closet. All right, so anyway, the hardest part about using this mirror is you're working in the opposite direction that you think you are, but I've done it so many times that it's not an issue for me. And now that I have this mirror, I can see a dark spot right here that I'll need to work out when I get to detailing. But right now I'm not detailing quite yet. Got a little bit of acne on the back of my head. Now, to prevent from forming any lines, I'm going from blade open to blade halfway open. So I'm going to take the lever. This is all the way closed. This is all the way open. I'm going to go halfway. And once again, I'm just going to work to right under where I just finished. I am not leaving my C cup. If you're curious, if you know what a C cup is, I'm not leaving my C cup because I'm balding, and this segment of your of your hairline right here is called your vertical bars. So if I do a C cup, my vertical bar is really, really long because I'm balding up here. So if I wanted a C cup, I would either have to take it up here or it would have a really long vertical bar and it would just look awkward to me. I've done it, but I don't want to do it right now. My goal in fading, like barbers call it blurry, a blurry fade. I don't want you to be able to tell where the fade starts. Like I want it to be a really, really seamless blend. No lines, no dark spots. And other than detail work, I'm almost done. With the fade, at least. Now I'm going to go clipper all the way closed. That's a different stream. You got to pay for that one. Clippers all the way closed, so this is as short as these clippers will go. Got to be really careful around the ears when your clippers are all the way closed, because again, these clippers will take a chunk out of my ear. Some of it I do by feel. Using the corners as I get to where the blend starts. And again, I worked down just so I didn't have to make guidelines that I'd have to take out. If I was cutting somebody else's hair, I'd probably make guidelines. Hey, what up, Soul? How's it going? All right, so as far as the fade goes, I'm going to bald it out with my Babyliss Gold FXs. Booyaka! This And because I'm old, I gotta do my ear hair. I'm an old, hairy white man. So trimming the ear hair is a must. All right. Sup, Semper Fi? How we doing, man? How was Mr. Harry Potter? All right. Now I'm gonna use my fade brush, clear away any excess hair laying against the skin, so I can get a better idea of what needs to be detailed. Looking for dark spots in the fade. Unfortunately, ever since I started having locks, you don't wash your hair as much. I do get more acne than I used to just from my natural hair oils and also adding oils to keep your scalp from drying out. My scalp is moist, giggity. All right, so I got my rear view mirror looking for areas that need attention. I can see an area right here that needs some attention. So I'm going to start with a number 1. I'm going to open it up. I think it's shorter, but just in case, I don't want to be taking hair off that I don't need to. Now I'm going to work, close the guard, or close the blade. And I had a feeling it was, but it's longer, or it's shorter than that. So I need to go to my half guard, otherwise known as a 0 guard, open it up, start at the same spot, just working out a dark spot of my fade. Using the corner of the clippers, close it halfway, again with the corners. Close it all the way now. With the corners, just trying to deal with this little dark spot in my fade. All right, other side. Hey, man, how you doing? You back at it? All right, and around the same spot on the other side of my hair, I have a dark. On the other side of my head, I have a dark spot. So, same process. Use the corners. Bring the clipper down a little bit. Use the corners. Clipper down all the way. Unfortunately, my skin is irritable. So just from touching the clippers, rubbing it against my head, I get red spots, and it makes the hair harder to see. And plus, I have really light hair. But I think I'm gonna. The fade pretty much looks good to me. I might catch something as I do my beard or do my lineup, but for now, the fade looks good to me. So I'm going to do my lineup now. So for that, I'm going to redo this hair tie, or this lock bun, whatever you want to call it. And for me, when I'm giving myself a lineup, I only want to cut the hair that is too short to join a lock. So I'm gonna have hairs that aren't locked up, and that's all right. It's just my hair type. There's nothing I could do about it. As long as I'm gonna wear locks, I'm always gonna have hair, the flyaway hairs. They're never gonna look that clean. When I go to get my hair retwisted by a professional, they look great when I leave, but whenever I wash my hair, whenever that happens to be, a lot of that work just comes right out because my hair does not want to be locked up. It's not the right type of hair. So anyway, I'm going to take the front of my hairline down using a number 3 and prep it for a lineup. right, we happy? We happy? Any obvious hairs that I missed? A few right there. All right. I really wish I had better lighting. All right, that's good. That's good. Now I got to down blend my beard. So I'm gonna start blade open. I'm gonna work to that little corner of my ear, whatever part of the ear that is called. Yeah, it is. Well, for the look I'm going for, it is like it requires like because I want my lines to be sharp. I want everything to be blended. Like there's easier ways to do this haircut, but I'm very precise. So whatever that part of your ear is called, that's where I'm going to start pulling away my clipper, fading my beard in. Close it up, go higher. Close it up again, go a little higher. Close it a little more, go higher. And close it all the way. Finish the blend. Now I'm going to go against the grain. Now my sideburns are blended, or at least that one is. Same process on the other side. And now I'm going to use the number 1, or excuse me, the 0. Work against it as well, just to give it a even nicer, elongated blend. Lever open first. With the grain first. Lever closed. Again, this is the 0 guard or the half guard, depending on what you call it. I'm just looking at my face, making sure it's even on both sides. Then I'm going to go lever closed against the grain. Bring out my gold FXs again. All right. Freehand a couple long spots in my beard before I do my lineup. All right, so for my beard, the shape I want, some people say you're supposed to go 2 fingers above your Adam's apple. I don't do that. I like my beard to end at my neck crease. So that's the line I'm going for. So I'm going to take my comb, brush it down. I'm going to take my Gold FX trimmers. Hopefully I get a nice straight line. It is. It's not black though. It's brown. How you doing, Ed? What do you guys think? Do you think if it looks better to leave this area of your underlip uh, or chin or whatever you call this area? Yeah, just read that, Serenity. You think this looks better natural or really, really lined up? Just this area right here. I think I'm going to leave it natural, but if you guys think I should line it up, let me know. I am going to line up my mustache, though. This is when the haircut starts to look really sharp to me. All this little detail work. Now for the lineup, I have to be really, really careful with my lineup. My hair's light up here. I start at the center and work toward the corner. How we looking so far? Doing all right? We're just about done. All right, let me see here. What we're gonna do now is a lineup. Where did I put my razor blade? I switched my blade out to start this stream. Oh, it fell behind the sink. All right, so now I'm just gonna line myself up. Fun fact, if you're trying to create a nice curve right here on your cheek, if you pull the skin up and just draw a line with the razor blade, it'll create a natural curve. And I'm lazy, so I didn't put any shave gel on, so I cut myself. It's not a big cut, it's literally just a scratch. So now I'm gonna put shave gel on. Just because the skin was dry, not prepared for cutting. So now I'm not gonna be lazy. Tim 45 shave gel is what I use. If you do happen to nick yourself, it's got aloe in it. It's really good. Good stuff. Get it online. All right, so you got to pull the skin tight. Oh, damn it. Just a sec. Don't want to bleed all over myself. What's up, Al? I knew there was a chance I was going to cut myself if I went with a dry shave, but I said screw it. Hey, Cosmo. Just doing some detail work now. If you're going to use a straight razor, I highly recommend you prep your skin, which I didn't, just because I'm not used to doing this in front of people. So I ended up nicking my cheek just a bit. But it didn't hurt. I didn't even feel it. But still, if you're going to cut other people, you want to make sure and use all the resources available to prevent you from like cutting a client, for instance. I am my own barber. That is right. Yeah, I started cutting my hair at the age of 14. And over the past 26 years, I picked up a lot of tools of the trade. I'm 40 now. All right, let me see. Did I miss anything? The best way to prep your skin for a gel is to use heat before your shave, or the best way to prep your skin for a shave is to use heat before you shave. That'll soften up the hairs and open up the hair follicles. And then cool after you shave, which will close your follicles. But I didn't do that because I didn't want you guys to sit around and watch me prep my skin. All right, let me see. I think I'm about done. Am I less ugly than when we started, guys? I am going to show Serenity something real quick. I got to get my talc powder out first. This is what all the old barbershops smell like. A lot of them don't use it anymore. All right, just so you guys can see the finished product. That's my lineup. Here's my fade. And now I'm going to do something for Serenity. All right, I'm just going to do one, but I'm going to show you how it's done. I just started doing this. All right, so I don't know how well you can see it, but I have all kinds of these flyaway hairs and hairs that don't look too good. So with my locks, I'm going to tighten them up. And again, I'm just going to do one, so just to show you what the process is like to crochet hair. All right, so I have one strand, one lock. I have locking gel. Gonna take just a little bit, fingertip. I'm gonna grab the hair. Gonna get all the loose strands. And I'm gonna apply the gel into the hair and work it through. All right. So now you can see this section looks a lot cleaner, but the only thing keeping it that way is the gel. So in order for it to lock itself up, which again, I've got the wrong hair type for this. It's never going to look as clean as I want. But if you have curly hair, the self-maintenance that you can do from time to time between your stylist visits is a big plus. I'm going to take my crochet hook, put it into the dread, work it all the way through. The hook side is going to be pointed towards my thumb, and I'm just going to work it in and out towards the base. Careful not to tear hairs. You're just going to tug them through. You're just making knots, more or less. In and out. See how much cleaner that looks? And then you just continue to work down the lock if you have loose spots. Yeah, I always the videos I've watched, the hook side towards your thumb. That way you can feel it against your thumb. You're not going to cut your thumb. And with any luck, you'll have a much more maintained looking lock. For now, that looks not too shabby. I'm going to work here though because there's hairs that aren't locked up. You just squeeze the hair that you're locking up, the section, and then you squeeze it between your hands, and then you work the what do you call it? Crochet hook. What the hell? My hook bent. Lame. See how much cleaner that looks compared to that one that's got hair all over the place? Some of it's going to fall out. Yeah, this is my crochet hook that I just bent. The metal bent. I think the metal's breaking. I have a backup though. So yeah. That's about it, guys. I think the thumb trick helps a lot. Because when I do it without the thumb, I just rip my hair too. I can't figure out where the hair is, what I'm doing with it. Working it against your thumb gives you a feel for what you're doing, whereas if you don't have your thumb there, you don't have a feeling for what's going on. All right, guys. That's it. That's the conclusion of the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Here's my souvenir that I gave myself by being lazy. Little cut on my cheek. Ooh, that lets me know I have just a little bit of detail work to do on my lineup right there. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with how the haircut turned out. Beard looks fire. I've got one of the best beards in the business. I'm not cocky. That's just speaking facts. I have a great beard. Piss poor at everything else. But yeah. I'll be gaming later. Hope everybody enjoyed it. See you later.